Hello again, friends. Welcome back to twitch.tv/trooperberry, and welcome back to the Long Dark. Welcome back to survival mode, and welcome back to our ongoing quest to survive 1,000 days and check off as many achievements as we can in the process. Alright, so here's the deal. I think we've prepared almost as much as we can. It's time to go on the mine and stay there. For 25 days, to be clear. We have hauled in all the food, all the water, all the drugs, all the everything. The last thing we're going to do I want to so I want to just make a quick trip back to the idle camp, and I want to get some of the canisters, the respirator canisters that we left there, because there's going to be some wandering around. Because for all the prep that we've done, and we have done quite a bit, there's still one thing we have not found, and it is rather important. When we're in the mine, I need to find a spot that will let me basically let Astrid get a sprain. Because as best I can tell, seriously, they're back already. Jesus. Yeah, I need to find a spot where Astrid can get a sprain, so if we need to save while we're in there, we can do that. Because that's about the only way I can think of that'll let us do that. Because at some point, we're not going to be able to pass time. For the first couple days, we'll be fine. But then cabin fever is going to kick in, and it's going to be a whole thing. So, and we're gonna we're gonna wander about some as we try to do this, and then we'll see if we can like a rail or like a spot where we can fall from a semi-safe height. Like one that we can fall that won't like absolutely, one that won't kill us, but will we'll get a bruising or torn clothing or a sprain of some sort, and then that'll make the game autosave. So if I do need to quit out for whatever reason, I can do so without losing all my progress. That's my hope, anyway. So my initial sweep of the spot where I left all of our stuff, yeah, not so much. I mean, there are elevated areas, but they're all very safely cordoned off. Like they got rails and all the OSHA safety compliance you could hope for. which would normally be a good thing, except for our current purposes. Okay, where did I leave these? You know what? I will take that. I'll take some of those because we might also need to make some coal or make some coal. Need to make some torches while we're in there. There we are. Wind got me spooked a little bit. Okay. We're not going to need that many. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That'll give us 1, 2, 6, 7, plus 1. Okay, that'll be good. And there will be coal down there. We have sticks, some. And yeah, and there'll also be crates down there we can disassemble if we do need more. Okay. Okay, let's get a move on. Because the sooner we start this, the sooner we can finish. All right. So what? Yeah. So we're gonna do as we've been doing. Work our way down the little strip mine. Go down to the bottom floor. I did leave water just behind. Excuse me, just behind where the gas is. Because we had like 20 odd liters. It's a lot. And yeah, we're having to. I mean, You didn't have to sprint through. We could have used the mask, but I figured we stay mobile. But yeah, so that pile of water basically is like the last. That's the last stuff we need to haul to our actual staging area. I don't. I just. And again, this is me and my. I guess my anxious way of thinking. Like I'm still trying to come up with how am I going to screw this up? Like what things could go wrong? And while I'm sure there are things, I mean, it could be, but everything I can think of, we've done. And at some point, there ain't nothing to it but to do it. So now is the time we're gonna go do it. Okay, I'll leave some of these here because when we're done with this whole affair, we're going to have like turbo cabin fever. And that's going to require that's what they're going to require us to. Well, I think once it's there, it's there. So we're basically going to like stay outdoors for what, 24 hours, something like that. And, you know, this seems like as good a spot as any to do that. Okay, do I have cans? I do not. Okay. Am I going to double pot this? Nah. Can we get by with a single pot? You know what? Screw it. Okay. I want good torches. I want good torches, Astrid. Okay, that's better. See, yeah, I do need to remember there's all that water there. That's terrible. Come on, girl, you can do better than that. There you go. Mm-hmm. 10 torches? I mean, we can make more. Just relax. Okay. Again, we're gonna try to squeeze in just just a touch more, just a little more outdoor time, just to delay the onset of cabin fever just that little bit more. Okay. Let's go. And yes, I know I'm leaving time on that fire. I hate wasting fire, but it's time to go. Oh, right. One thing we should do, yeah, once we're down there and settled, one thing I should do is basically drop as much clothing as I can, as long as we stay warm. Because, well, I don't know. It's where, what would keep our clothing in better condition? Having it on our person, or having it just sit out for 25 days? I'm not entirely sure. That you did, girly. That you did. Because honestly, I had this idea that reducing Astrid's carry weight, like to below like 15 kilograms, maybe that would slow the rate of energy depletion. Like the stamina wouldn't drain quite as quickly, but I'm led to believe that might not be the case. That might just be a barring any afflictions, that might just be set in stone. Okay. Bye, zone of contamination. We'll see you in a bit. Okay, so for our notes, so it is dawn of day 682, which means we're going to be in here until day 25, day 707. Okay. All right, let me just check. Okay, we do still have the moose satchel on. Well, we had a moose hide satchel, but we also have the moose cloak on us. That's important because that, yeah, it feels like 32. Okay, yeah, we're gonna be fine. It's important because that is what's going to help us pass time once we can no longer sleep indoors. And that day will be along before too long. Just see, I had hopes that I could get up on some of these rocks and use those for an easy sprain, but alas, 'twas not to be. Okay. Well, yeah, I did have all. Yeah, I mean, we have many flares left. Yeah, here we go. Here's our water collection.
I wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
Okay, we can still sprint. Yeah, I do see all that coal. We might grab it eventually. Yes, you got all these crates to break down too. But that's more than a little dangerous, I gotta say. It's like you. Actually, I don't even know if you can. I mean, it depends like how long the filter lasts. Okay, so there you go. Yeah, we had about 10 seconds to spare. So if we had been carrying any more, that could have gone quite poorly. All right, we might as well get started. Oh yeah, I can't. Are there? I'm pretty sure there are artificial lights where we're going to be staying. So if perchance we do have, let's say, aurora or glimmer fog, we can use that to break down any crates. So we don't want to burn through more light sources needlessly. Here we go. Here's our humble abode for the next however long. Okay, got a pile of burnables here. Drop you. And that right there, that is not an option. Because if we step through there, that resets the clock. And that is the opposite of what we want. Oh, hang on. That's what I should do. I just talked about that. And that's 4 kilograms right there. We don't need to be lugging around with us. Because we are gonna do some exploration while we're down here. We might as well. Oh, speaking of, looks like we got some glimmer fog already.
Not sure I can carry much more.
There we go, and we're just 2 kilos over. Okay, yeah, I know. I said we were gonna grab that stuff later. I succumbed to temptation. And I might also be just sprinting a bit to make us a little bit more tired. Okay, and looks like the answer is very much yes. There are well, actually there are many artificial lights here. I don't know why I was even questioning that. But yeah, here you go. Here's our pile of water, our pile of Briar House pies, our coffee, teas, energy drinks. There's our pemmican collection and our peach pie collection. Okay, now oh yeah, so we'll have our pile of clothes. Fine. Oh, you want? She's complaining about water, of all things. Okay, now drop that, and we'll move that somewhere obvious. So what do we not need? Well, we can probably drop one of you, one of you, one of you, one of you, and you. Still feels like 16 degrees. Okay, down to 11. Well, we don't have to worry about Astrid's modesty. You know, she's the only one here, right? Wait. Oh, okay. I said, where'd that tattoo come from? No, that's the that's probably the nourished and unburdened. Okay, now it feels like 6. I think that's close enough. Now, what's our... We're still carrying 26 kilos, which is honestly quite a bit. Okay, so we're not going to need antiseptic. We'll keep the rest of those. That's fine. We're not going to... Well, we might use up that whetstone, but we're not... Yeah, we're not going to need any weaponry. I mean, unless there's going to be a sudden update that adds a mine bear or whatever. There, we'll keep a stone for protection, just in case. And I feel like most of the rest of this stuff can go in a container. There, like all the stuff that's not going to be that's going to be annoying to pick up. Yeah, we'll keep the painkillers on us in case of burns. I don't expect we'll need them, but you never know. Okay, now that we're at least down under 20. So now what? Well, I think now we start our... Oh, you know what would have been good to have? And I can't believe I'm going to say this. A flashlight. Okay, so... Well, who knows? Maybe we'll come across one somewhere. Oh. Okay. So let's go... Let's continue... Oh, wait, can I get up here? Nope, the game is... The game says no. Alright, let's see if we can find our spraying spot. Now, remind me, where... Yeah, one of these little cubicles here has a bed. I think it's up on the 2nd floor.
I could eat anything right now.
And as long as we can sleep, I think we'll sleep there. All right. Well, yeah, let's just start checking down tunnels. Because I feel reasonably certain that I have, fully combed. Well, I say fully. Like, our time here was mostly spent dealing with the tails. So now I think there's a half decent chance we did not in fact loot this as thoroughly as we might normally. Feels weird to be desperately looking for a sprain indicator, but here we are. Okay, next possibility. Ooh, well, no, again, safety railings. Safety railings. Oh, wait. Well, no, there's a full corner there. Yeah, my other hope was the rails, but they don't appear to be as elevated as some of the ones. Yeah, like the railroad tracks. So we can cheese our way up here. Again, the game says no. Okay, rifle, but I don't. We don't rifle, so it's not going to be much help. No, boo. All right. Well, wait, did I actually? I did not bring any lamp oil. Okay, well, that's an oversight on my part. Yep, can't squeeze through there. Hmm. Can I get up? Can I get up? Get up? Get up? Get up? Get up? Get on up? Get on up? The game says you cannot get on up. Bother. Hmm. Okay, so yeah, we came. Yeah, so yeah, this way out. Darn it. No, nothing. Not climbing on top of planks and barrels and such. Ugh. Because my thinking is the moment I see a sprain indicator pop up, that's where if we need to force a save. That's where we turn off, or we pop off this is where we take off the crampons, and then we just basically stand there until the game gives us what we want. Now I was about to say, oh, let's not go too far. But then how far is too far? Like where are we gonna go? Right? Like, what do we have on the agenda besides this? And the answer is, honestly, not that much. Oh, I missed one. All right, well, I don't feel nearly as bad as about missing it now. Hmm. Surely,
I'm gonna need to eat soon.
there's a spot around here. Alas, it was not that. Actually, you know what? Maybe I should just proactively take off the crampons. Maybe, but that doesn't change whether something is a sprainy slope. It just matters on how quickly the sprainy slope kicks in. Excuse me. Okay. Well, all right. So worst comes to worse. We don't actually find a spot where we can force a sprain. If that happens, then we power through. Fortunately, I do have the entire weekend to myself this time, so if we need to stick with this until the job is done, we can do that. I won't necessarily be the happiest about that, but I can do it. Well, I have the availability to do it. Whether I have it in me, but in the spiritual sense, well, I guess we'll find out. Yeah, let's go ahead and head back. Because we have been collecting a bunch of coal. I mean, granted, we have lots of carry capacity to spare, but especially if we're going to be wandering through gaseous spots, it behooves us to stay as light and as agile as possible. Can we get up on those? Nope, sure can't. All right. Well, I'm starting to think Hinterland might actually have had. Well, no, they couldn't have had this in mind because the mine existed before the achievement. By quite some ways, actually. Okay, so if we do need to make more torches, we have an abundance of options. do we just go this way? Well, at some point we're going to need to concern ourselves with a lack of light. But I guess until then, we'll just keep searching. Well, okay, yeah, yeah, we got all that sprint bar now. Right, now we're here. And then there's that disturbingly colored pool question mark down there. Yeah, it's the same as like the pool up above. Not the sort of thing you want to fall into. See, did I? Oh, I didn't bring a pry bar with me. Well, who knows what could be in there? Lamp oil!
Hope no one
Yay!
needs this anymore.
I don't need the balaclava per se. That'd be nice to have. Yeah, we're in a weird spot, folks. Actually, wishing for a spraying indicator and a flashlight. I mean, we certainly live in interesting times. Okay, so no dice there. Let's check up here. I don't. Well, okay. I could take a running jump down these stairs. That would almost certainly do the trick. Now, and it's not high enough that it would kill us, but it would. There would definitely be some sort of affliction waiting for us if we were to attempt. Also, what is? Are you seeing this? This invisible wall is not so invisible. Okay, here, I'm gonna... That is gonna be my mental note. It's like I could climb up here. And then drop down there. Okay. Not what I necessarily had in mind, but I think we can make that work. And again, that's if we need to. We might not need to. We might just be able to work through this. Okay, let me preemptively replace the torch. Just so we don't have to worry about that while we're on the run. No, come on, do the thing. Thank you. Okay, we'll give it a sec. Oh, wait, did you see that? There's actually a blue part of the sprint bar. Oh, that's probably because of unburdened. Right. Yeah, I've never seen blue on that bar, but I guess, yeah, if you can have blue on the health bar, there's no reason you can't have blue on the sprint bar. Hey, every day is a school day. There we go. Yeah, if we stay light, we can actually do a full sprint through, and we don't have to use a canister at all. Good stuff. Okay, so we've been going for 45 minutes. We have not passed a day. But the time passing will accelerate here before too long. But yeah, so that is... Yeah, so that stairwell is basically the last of our checklist. Because, yeah, we have our food, we have our drink, we have our meds, we have we have light sources in the form of a bunch of torches if we need to, and we have a spot to force a save if necessary. I like it. Wait, how have we... Oh, you know what? That says 13 injuries sustained. Oh, that must include suffocation risk and chemical poisoning risk. 15... Okay, yeah. It must. Yeah, 0, 15... Yeah, because we're going over the same. Okay. It's weird that it calls risk an injury. But I guess that's also not that surprising. Tell you what, while we're here, let's go find that spot where we can sleep. Found it. Oh, there's a can. Lovely. You know, I will grab that just in case. Nope. Wrong kind of coal. My thought was, can we, climb over the rails here or find some place to jump down? But no, as I said, for all its faults, and Langston has many, they assiduously followed safety protocols. So I cannot hurl, well, I say that having found that stairwell, we can't hurl Astrid down the stairs here and force a save that way. Gotta go on a bit of an excursion. And you talk about how we need to, update our. I got to update my instincts here. I think, okay, so my thought was, hey, it's getting late. We should sleep. But there is no late here because there's not going to be light unless we generate it. And, there's not visibility to do what? Who knows? And plus, if I keep feeding Astrid, if I keep feeding her pemmican bars, she's going to keep gaining energy, and then we won't need to sleep. So I'm almost thinking, do we in fact let our girl starve? I don't love the idea, but we would have ample time to get.
Starving.
We were just talking about that, Astrid. We'd have ample time to get well fed back before we have to leave the mine. Wait, did I drink? Let's drink. Because again, I'm such a softie. I feel guilty for not treating our girl well, but it's just we're in pursuit of achievements here. We
I
get
need a horse.
that's saying a lot because you love horses. Again, it's in service of the greater good. The greater good being achievements, of course. Well, okay, if regardless. We can have her skip meals, we cannot have her skip drinks. Yeah, those are less negotiable. So what do I got? Okay, this is, there's an even 100 pemmican bars. But do I want those? Because, well, no, we have 100. We're only going to be here 25 days. Plus we got all this other food. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, while we can, let's just pass time. We'll get things moving. Yeah, this is where the scintillating gameplay kicks in. Yeah, rip well fed. I hate it, but and so passing time pops a save, but we're not going to be able to do that for much longer. So let's enjoy it while we can. Okay, more electrofog. What do we want to do about this? See, where's my birch? Over here? Over here. Yeah, we got more than 100 of these things. There. Yeah, as you can see, yeah, so we made back most of that health damage.
I never thought I'd be dying from starvation.
No, I think you did. I think that was pretty well certain, Astrid. Okay. Now, can I just grab a couple? No, well, we can. I just can't see anything. And yeah, I know I could use a bedroll, but why lose condition on the bedroll when we don't have to? The company has very graciously provided us with a sleeping area right here. Okay. Let me just oh, nope, not there. Here. Okay, that was
Stomach feels like an empty pit.
please not with the dramatics, Astrid. Okay, so there's 2 days down right there. But remember, we're not can't leave until day 707. Excuse me. Yeah, imagine we're yeah. Forget being sentenced to Blackrock. Yeah, we got sentenced to however 25 days of hard solid not solitary 25 days of hard solitaire in Langston Mine. Man, talk about cruel and unusual. Wait, hang on. What is the issue here? Oh, because we're not eating. Right. I think that's it. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll advance time a bit more. We'll see about feeding our girl, and we'll see what changes there. And that's nuking our energy bar. That is not something we prefer. Okay, so we fed her. Let's see if that goes away. It did. Okay. So yeah, so they yeah, so the yellow indicator on the energy bar, that must have been because yeah, so you starve
All
and
I
then like
think about is food.
the body runs out of calories to burn and then there's nothing can't burn for energy. Okay. That makes sense.
I could eat anything right now.
You could, but you won't. Not yet anyway.
I got it.
Oh, sorry. Did I cut you off there, Astrid? My God. Oh, how many voice lines are there for "my tummy's empty"? You know, I think we're gonna find out. Oh, you know, maybe I should carry a couple more of these on me, just in case. Yeah, I again, apologies to anyone tuning in now or on the VODs later, but yeah, this is not going to be the most scintillating of gameplay. All right, and the energy thing is back. That's totally fine. But again, this is this is the achievement. The achievement is stay in a mine for 25 days. It's not gonna it's not gonna make it's not gonna get the old blood pumping, shall we say? I mean, you
I'll
there are
die if I
ways you
don't get some
could do
food
it.
soon.
Excuse me. Like yeah, there you could very easily like say I'm only gonna live on cattails for 25 days, and there's probably someone who has tried that. Or you know not unlike what we're doing so far, you say I'm only going to live on I'm going to live on birch bark tea for 25 days, and I guess as long as you could drive up your thirst enough, you could probably do it. There would be a lot of calorie management in there, but you could again it's because people have lived on loper on nothing but birch bark tea. But yeah, I am that not that brave, not that bold, not that skilled, honestly. I mean, I suppose I could be at some point, but again, it's just again, and this is the lingering, I guess, risk aversion. Okay, we just ticked over to 685. That's 3 days down. Woo. again, and if this was a run I didn't care about, then sure, we can play be a little bit more loosey goosey. But I've grown attached to our girl in the intervening 685 days. So it's and again, just the very this run very nearly ended before we even got to 500, thanks to me not taking any painkillers with me into the HRV ravine, which was damn foolish, but lesson learned, I
I'm
suppose.
starving.
Just okay. I know there's well, I guess let me. No, 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 no. I was gonna say, oh, if only there was a way to turn off player, the character voices without having to like disable feat progress and achievements and whatnot. But no, I deserve this. I deserve to have Astrid haranguing me at every opportunity. I am, I'm willfully putting her through this. I am making her suffer. Oh, there we go. Mark it. 3 days in, and cabin fever risk is upon us.
Where can I find something to eat?
So it's yeah 45% right now. Well, but considering we've been inside for 3 days, that's and it's less than half. So yeah, I think we did a pretty good job of a pretty good job of trying to keep it at bay as long as we can. But again, given the nature of what we're doing, we were going to get to this point eventually. There, now it's up to 66%. Okay. It is, 92%. Okay. Okay, so very soon our ability to pass time is going to go away. So let me see if I can make Astrid a little more tired. Actually, I really shouldn't have that out. And we'll see if we can get in one last sleep before the shenanigans must begin. '94. Yes, I think as long as if it ticks over from cabin feverish to cabin fever while you're sleeping, I think the game will let you finish however long you're trying to sleep. I think I've not sized that myself, but I think I can't remember if it was Bashrobe or Athenon who I heard talking about that. But those are a couple couple guys who know what they're talking about when it comes to this game, so. But I mean, I guess we'll find out because it's our 95%. $96. Okay. See if we can tuck her out, and then we'll feed her, and then see if we can squeeze in just a little more. And then we're gonna go downstairs. We're gonna grab the moose cloak, and then we're just gonna fiddle with that for the next 3 weeks. Okay, 97. That's probably close enough. There we are. I have a little birch bark calorie. And then let's just sleep as long as it will let us. Or maybe it won't. You can just sleep indoors for 24 hours. Okay. Well, there goes that. So, now we're going to take this. Our moose hide cloak that we have not... It was sitting in the Quonset for months on end. Now, the reason it shows that is because, unlike the bear coat or the wolf coat, if we accidentally fully harvest the moose hide the cloak, to remake it, we're just going to need to... We get the moose hide back. We just need to get cured guts. And we got plenty of those. Hey, Martian, welcome in. Good to see you. How's your weekend going so far? Hope you're well. Astrid is... Well, she's kind of struggling. We are... Let's see, we got in here on day 682. We're already 1, 2, 3, 4... Yeah,
I need a horse.
Actually, we're on our 5th day in the mine. Wow. And only now has cabin fever kicked in. Hey, Kia, good to see you. Welcome, welcome. You had a nosebleed in your sleep. Oh no! You had to puke up. But you have a bacon bath. Okay, good. Yeah, bacon makes a lot of things better. I know medical science hasn't caught up with me yet on that, but I have faith in them. They'll get there eventually. But I'm... Well, hopefully that was just a one-time thing. It's not like a... Like, I mean, bleeding sucks on its own. Yeah, bleeding while you're asleep. That's... Ugh. That's the kind of thing that normally happens after a cougar attack. Exactly, Martian. Okay, so where was I? Yes. Yeah, so we have now hit the point where we're going to have to come up with creative ways to pass time. Actually, now that I think of it, we have glimmer fog going, so I should be able to like break this crate down with our bare hands and pass time that way. There we go. Yeah, nosebleeds a lot, but not when you were unconscious. Okay. Well, I will trust your judgment, and if it's not a reason,
Starving.
I mean, I know I would probably have a little bit of panic going on, but if you if that's just a normal thing, then I will take your word for it, and I will just hope for the best for you. Can I reach that? I cannot reach that. Boo. And there's no safe house customization in here either. Double boo. See any other crates? We could wander a little farther afield, but honestly, I kind of don't want to. No, go ahead and do that. It's only 30 minutes, but still, every little bit helps. Like a display crate? Yeah, unfortunately. Okay, then there's our pile of burnables. Okay. Now, we brought in more than 100 pemmican bars. So that shouldn't be an issue. All right, now. So, our moose hide cloak. Obviously can't repair. We don't have it on the moose hide. It's going to take 2 hours to harvest by hand. So, we're going to keep a close eye on the little meter, and we're going to quit out with about 3/4 of the way through.
I've never been so hungry in my life.
There we go. And that is going to be how we pass time. It's not the most interesting gameplay, but you know what? It's not the most interesting achievement. So I don't make this. This is what Hinterland wanted us to do, and far be it from me not to listen to our benevolent overlord Raphael von Lyrup.
I'm so hungry.
Guy, just Astrid sounds so pale and so wan. But I don't care, my girl. There are cheevos on the line. Hey, Zert. Welcome, welcome. How goes the weekend? We're just here living in a mine as one does in the wilds of northern Canada. Living in a mine, sipping birch tea, and partially disassembling moose hide clothing. As you do.
I'm so hungry.
Okay, can't complain. All right. That's pretty solid. Okay, you know what? Where'd those go? Where's my pies? All right, girl. If this will keep you quiet, we're gonna have our first Briar House pie. But okay for the most part. I do appreciate having a full weekend to myself again. Had my latest doctor visit this morning, and all seems well. Um, According to the scales, I've been doing these for about a month now, and I think we're down we're down 4 kilograms in the space of a month. That's about 8.8 pounds for those of you using freedom units. Excuse me. Now it's early days.
I need to find a place to rest.
Wait, cabin fever again? I already had cabin fever. Can you get double cabin fever? Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. Yes. So this was intended, Martian. So yes, that is the case. Never heard. Okay. No. That is good of you. Yeah. So this is intended. This is what we wanted to have happen. The Briar House pie must have. You know what that could be. Hang on. Let me see. Oh right, because the pemmican bars don't. Okay, so yeah, they actually do. Well, here, and actually, it says sleep it for 23 hours. So, yeah, because it starts at 24. So, I actually still have some credit from the Briar House pie. Huh, how about that? So, thankfully, you cannot, in fact, get double cabin fever, because, oh boy, that would be a sentence and a half. But yeah, so to get back to the previous point, yes. So, I actually went to my GP and said, I mean, I didn't insist, but I said, hey, is this something we should consider? And the GP said, yeah, we could do that. It's probably fine. And it'll be a trick. And then, so far, the answer is yes. Can you make a suggestion? As in reference to what dessert? To cabin fever, or or my weight regimen? I'd be very much open to one over the other.
I'm so tired I could lay down
Hey, Bumblebee, good to see ya. How's things? Pretty. Okay, yeah. If it involves the game dessert, then yeah, then go right ahead. Yeah. Hope everyone's weekend is going well. Yeah, we'll pop one of these. Okay, 24 Briar House, but well, we didn't make quite that many. I think we ended up making like what was the final count? 38 in total. So yeah. Um, if you can get food poisoning, it'll pass 10 hours. Well, one, we have cooking 5. That's gonna and everything I have here is cooked, so that's gonna be difficult. Two, I don't know that that overrides cabin fever. I think I was having this discussion with Athenon last time I raided into his channel. I wasn't sure, but I think Bash said it probably does not. And three, do you heal while you have food poisoning? I I don't know. I'm not sure. My inkling is to say no, which is part of what makes it so nasty. But I can't say for sure. Woke up randomly, will likely fall back to sleep. Okay, well, hey, if there is any stream that's going to help you fall back to sleep, Bumblebee, this is the one because this is all we're doing for the next basically month in game. Oh, heal the food poison. Oh, gotcha. Okay, but yeah, no, I think to get something that would food poison us, we'd have to leave the mine, and I'm not doing that shit. Why are we so Why are we so necky? Who I don't I don't know that word, Martian. Oh, naked. Okay. Right. Oh, yeah. So the reason for that is I just wanted to drop a bunch of stuff to be more mobile while we went looking for a place to sprain ourselves and to save some wear and tear on our clothes while we're in here. I don't know if they take more wear on your body versus just sitting out. So I thought I'd split the difference. Also, next, Aurora, are you going to fix your mask? Oh no, this is one we just found. We found I missed this while looting initially, so we're just holding on to that. No, we have a technical balaclava.
Man, I could eat anything.
It's fancy. Yes, and there. So as we were looking for a place to sprain, there were a few loot spots that it turned out I missed while we were uh, doing the tail in here. Nothing of import. I left a rifle and some ammo behind, but I don't use the rifle anyway, so whatever.
So tired.
Oh, you have no idea, Astrid. You're gonna be way more tired. Actually, where are we? Holy crap! We've actually finished our first week here because we came in here like right at daybreak at day 682, and then we've just crossed over to day 689. I did this with settled my well. Honestly, Zert, that would be the sensible thing to do. That would be the best way to go about it. Problem is, this save predates Settled Mind. So that was not an option for us. So we're trying to make do the next best thing with a bunch of food that gives us energy.
I'm too tired to think straight.
Say, now hang on a minute. Now it says we only need to sleep outdoors for 20 hours. Does the pemmican give cabin fever relief too? Let's see. Okay, we're at 20 hours right now. Okay, it's still 20. All right. But it has to have some effect because that's the only thing we've eaten. Hmm. All right. Well, hey, if there's a cabin fever bonus on top of the extra energy in the other buffs, hey, great. I won't complain in the slightest.
Just need to close my eyes.
But yeah, for those who haven't seen it, this is our little home away from home. That's all the clothing we took off. That's all the various stuff. Here's our pile of more than 100 birch teas, our coffee, our drugs, our peach pies, our briar house pies. We're carrying our pemmican, and that's all the water. Okay, back to the grind. Okay, it is.
I've never been so hungry in my life.
That's a lie, Astrid. You know it. It's nice to be back in survival. I didn't I didn't mind being briefly reunited with story mode, but at the same time, it was because it's and I think it's part of the reason that I was not as worked up about episode 5 as a lot of other people. I don't have that much invested in story mode. As it was nice, and I'm glad folks
I'm
got
ready to get
closure,
right about now.
and I'm glad Hinterland got that out, and they were able to tell the story they wanted to tell, and it or at the very least the story that Raph wanted to tell. But I was just there for the ride, honestly. So if people are worked
So
up about it,
tired I could lay
okay.
down right here.
And if people thought it was the greatest thing Hinterland ever did, okay. It's a subjective artistic discussion, and I don't think that there's any one I don't think that there's any one correct stance on that. Uh, what did I think the five? Oh, I assumed that was like there was a counter, like it was for 500 days. So like the time lock on the bunker was for 500 days, and then after that it'll open up again. Again, a lot longer than 40 to 400 years, or excuse me, a lot shorter rather, but you know, long enough for long enough for Suzuki maybe to not play into Black Frost storyline. And I feel almost certain there will be a Black Frost storyline. I mean, it's because otherwise, again, especially given the big deal that Jace makes about closing the doors, it seems to me that that just makes the most sense. I mean, it could be something else, but then I'd be curious what the case is for it being anything other than 500 days. Wait. Cabin fever again? How many times have I got cabin fever? Weird. But you're trying to avoid spoilers. Oh, but and you remember you're not interested in this story. Okay, well, apologies, but that like if you do want to, well, no, I'll endeavor not to spoil anything more. Because if you are going to play it, you should have the chance to go in as unspoiled as possible. Excuse me. They're all going to reel back at it. Well, yeah. I mean, if they're subject to the same forces as the player, yeah, you would think.
Tired.
But who knows? Maybe Astrid has some super duper anti-cabin fever drugs she smuggled out.
So
tired. You've watched the ending. It's like you will never play it. Oh, okay. I mean, unfortunate, but at the same time, I understand. Because yeah, I think if you're not that invested, and I will say it's still a decent ride.
all I can think about is food.
Like, there are good parts, and I think I'm of the opinion that on the whole, like as an entire package, episode 5 is good.
I need to find food.
It's not the best, and it's not it's not the best episode. It's not the best thing Hinterland's ever done. But there are good parts. There are good set pieces. And I think especially the first part, like with Astrid in Perseverance Mills, that's genuinely good. The bits with Will, arguably less so. They're not as interesting. They don't cohere quite as well. But there are still things to like. And not just not just the shoddy.
I need to rest soon.
Although I do really like that. Let's see, is there anything we want to do while we have the Aurora on? Probably not. Well, hang on. Now let's just keep at it.
I could eat a horse. It's saying a lot because I love horses.
I know, Astrid, you rarely talk about anything else. Wait, wow.
I am too tired to think straight.
We've almost been in here for 10 days. Let's see. Yeah, 7 injuries sustained, 4, 4, 3, 1. Okay, yeah.
Good week.
Well, maybe I can do something about that. Could I interest you in a lovely, slightly off-green briar house pie? Oh, geez. Look at that. Do I see my door for 3 hours? Holy cats. I I thought Briar House Pie only did a little for cabin fever. I was big wrong. That almost like took the thing out on its own. Sheesh. Well, fie on me for underestimating the power of pie.
Just.
Oh, hey, look, cabin fever's back. Okay, all right. Wait, did that just trigger a? Oh, you know what it's doing? Every time cabin fever kicks in, it's giving us a save because it's an affliction. Oh, this is working out better than I could have hoped. Wow. Okay. Maybe I'll sleep within the next month. Yeah. This I mean I'm wrong, but I'm being wrong in all the best ways. I love it. All right. What was I? Okay, yeah, so other thoughts on episode 5. Like I said, I was not as hopped up about it, but and I know some people are running around. I see people in other chats talking about like betrayal and all the horrible things that Hinterland and Raft did, and the some people are like really getting full internet message board frothy over it. Again, I know everyone needs a hobby, but I think we can do better. I mean, if you want to complain, if you were expecting something else, okay, I get it. I think a lot of people were expecting something else, or at the very least, like not what we got was not what they were expecting. But I think Raph was talking about this. I think at the very least on Blue Sky, it might have been other places too. The way he put it was, well, it was along the lines of, play the story in Wintermute is never going to measure up to what the story players can write for themselves in their sandbox games. Like the story in survival mode is the players. The story in Wintermute is what the devs want to make. Now you could say it would behoove them to write something the players would like, and you would not be entirely wrong. but at the same time, I can see why he would say that, because as we've noted, like even long before episode 5 was on the horizon, story mode is Raph's baby. It is the thing he's proudest of. It's his creation, and it is the story he wants to tell. And again, that is for better or worse. Now, and again, like I said, I like 95% of my time in this game, which I think I'm pushing like what 1,400 hours. Yeah, is that 95% of that time has been in, this here survival mode. Not that I think story mode is necessarily bad. It's just, well, one, there's not a lot of replayability to it. Once you've experienced the story, unless you're going back for achievements or like seeking out deep lore if you're toasty bits, what is there to draw you to Wintermute a second time? I mean, maybe that it is enough for some people, and we know there are people out there who are story mode first, and abundanza to them. I just, because again, it's as you say, there's no wrong way to play the long dark, other than to not play the long dark. And if story mode is what gets your blood pumping, then hey, you go. But for me, this again the open endedness of sandbox mode of like I said, being able to write your own story, pursue your own interest. Cabin fever again, man. I'm so unlucky.
Can you eat trees? Because I'm gonna eat a tree.
I don't know what's happening, but I'm confused. Yeah, see, there you go. Which is we got a free save. Anyway, well here, so let's try, test that out. So it says 20 hours. Okay, it still says 20 hours. I have no idea what's happening anymore. And again, yeah, the return of cabin fever totally, derailed my train of thought. Right, episode 5. You know what? As I say, I'm happy it's out. I'm happy Hinterland got to do their thing. I'm happy we got closure. See, look, cabin fever went down. So weird.
Man, I am too tired to think straight.
So now, so my I will say, and then to further that, my primary interest in episode 5 was to see, what's on the horizon for survival mode. Like, what new zones might we be getting? What new gear might there be? And if I'm not, we didn't see like a ton. We I mean, there were some blasts from the past, and then some eagle-eyed people actually found cans of Darkwalker spray paint in episode 5. Unfortunately, it did not summon the Darkwalker, which feels like a violation of truth in advertising laws, but oh well. You've heard there's a part of the mine where you can't get cabin fever. Well, I mean, we clearly have it. So rip that. But again, look, it's down to 9 hours. Why? I I don't know what's happening. The thing is, yeah, I don't. Maybe we, yes, because Zach has that interview with Raph coming up. Maybe we need to have him ask, okay, Raph, explain cabin fever. How does it work? What the hell? Because it clearly doesn't work the way the game says it does. Evidence I give you this. Anyway. So do a quick check. Where are we? Okay, I need to stop because like yeah, a watch pot doesn't boil and a watch journal doesn't get faster quicker. Yeah, so our target is day 707. We went on day 682, and now we're about 10 days in. So we're 2/5 of the way there. There's some math on the fly for you. I don't know. It's like I know what I mean. Any of you have strong thoughts about episode 5? Those of you who have played it. Because I know I'm here largely downplaying, say, hey, not that big a deal. It was a fun little time, and then Cabin Fever's back. Of course it is. But maybe some people really do think it's the worst thing ever, and Hinterland has beclowned themselves by making it. I don't necessarily agree, but I'm open to arguments to the contrary. Because, as I said, I don't have that much invested in it. Oh, you've been starving for several days, Astrid. Just calm down. Yeah, yes, Andrea, but they have beclowned themselves all across hither and yon. Good to see you, Andrea. Hope you and the little man are doing all right. We're just here hanging out in a mine, getting cabin fever, losing cabin fever, getting cabin fever again. It's the things we do for video game achievements. You're just getting up? Nice. That is an excellent way to start the day. I heartily recommend it. Okay, yeah, our our health is lower than I would like. Yeah, one of the things that concern, like, I know, yeah, the yeah, calorie wise we're set. That's easy. But my concern is I'm going to be so focused on not fully disassembling the moose cloak, I'm going to lose focus on our HP, and then I'm going to put our all of our hard work at jeopardy. And not doing that would require me to pay attention to more than one thing at a time. And I mean, you know streamers, they don't always do very well at that. Uh, but yeah, see, it was I was saying, this is just a nice typical Saturday for me with the well we did have the doctor's appointment again. I'm told that
I need to find a place to rest.
after next week, the doc wants to pivot to a an every other week schedule rather than an every week. So, and honestly, I'm fine with that. Now, it's going to cut into my Yoshinoya habit because there is a in like the complex where the doctor's office is, just a couple doors down. I mean, there's a Thai restaurant across the street. There's a noodle restaurant right next door. Then a 7-Eleven and a Yoshinoya, which I don't normally go to, but when I'm in the neighborhood, I like to give myself a little treat for being a good little patient and making the doctor proud. God, such gifted kid mentality. I'm going to win being a patient. And normally it's not so bad. Like it's a Saturday afternoon. Obviously, there's lots of families running about because like there's a shopping center not too far away. But like last Saturday, it was a ghost town. I was in and out real easy. Today, not so
Less
much.
soothing than a faint.
Today, apparently, the French Foreign Legion put in a delivery order because it's like I put in, I use a little kiosk because you know ordering from another human
Seems
being
like
is
I could lay down right here.
chooky or something. Wait, I have well fed back. What the hell? Oh well. But and it took a solid 20 minutes before my food even started moving toward the counter, which is out of the ordinary. But anyway, a minor hiccup. But then, yeah, so hit the grocery store after that. Um, I am planning on making sausage cacciatore tomorrow. It's like chicken cacciatore, but, with sausage. I found a really nice, what was it? Italian herb and fennel sausage that I think would go well with that. So yeah, so the apartment's gonna smell real nice tomorrow. What? 1 hour? What? I haven't slept at all, and some. Okay, wait. Does the Briar House? Maybe the Briar House pie has like an effect over time rather than giving you like a burst of outdoor time. Maybe that's it. This is so weird. But weird to our benefit, thankfully. Oh, and it's back. I don't. Okay, you know what? I don't. Yeah, I've given up trying to understand it. We're just along for the ride. Although now I'm curious. What's this doing to our stats? Do we even keep? Yeah, so we're up to. Oh no, we only have 8 instances of cabin fever. That seems low. Oh well. Okay, oh, day 694. So we got about 2 weeks to go. Well, 2 in-game weeks, thankfully. Okay. Oh, Andrea, have you gone to see the second Ready or Not movie? Because it has landed here in Hong Kong. Unfortunately, every showing is a 10 p.m. showing. Which, and the problem is the movie is about, it's not quite 2 hours, like hour and 30, hour and 40, I think. But that's getting perilously close to when the trains stop running here. So I don't know. I'll find a way to see it. How many from this stream? Not all of them, but probably most of them.
Tired.
Because other than maybe a couple times in Broken Railroad, when we had to sleep it off in the cave across the log bridge from the hunting lodge, I can't think of too many times in this run where cabin fever's been an issue. But then again, I mean, again, I assumed it was going to be like one unbroken stream of cabin fever. Well, it turns out that might not necessarily be. Well, again, I think the food is getting in the way of that being a thing. Which again, I don't mind in the slightest. It's providing a little extra entertainment as well for me anyway as I do this. I don't know how entertaining it is for you folks, but then that's me though. I'm easily entertained. Let's see. So, yeah, doctor's office. Oh, and see, it's back again. It's a, cabin fever is like it's like a pet that, or as like a dog in particular that can't decide whether it wants to be in or out. So I said, we're lingering by the door, we're walking away. We're lingering by the door, we're walking away. Oh right, yeah. So now that the calendar has rolled over to April, I do have the new infusion of leave days. but I'm actually locked into using some of them in a particular month. Actually, let me go find another pie. Like the way it works at my job is, in addition to just like regular days off, you also get your, what is it, your birthday, your work anniversary, and you like one just general purpose personal day. But the string attached with the birthday and the work anniversary is you have to take them in the same month they land. So like for me, my birthday is in May and my work anniversary is in May. So that's basically 2 days off that I have to take that month if I want them. I could just not take them, but I have one of those peculiar workplaces where they will actually they'll give me grief if I don't take my days off, which, coming from the US, is definitely a trip. Yeah, I'm used to the other way around, where people will, they'll clown on you if you take days off, like you're letting down the team, you're giving your coworkers, an extra burden. Why would you want to do that? Don't you care about the team? We're like a family here. But no, at where I am now, it's like the first couple years I was there, people found out I was gonna float leave days. They like, what are you, stupid or something? And well, yeah. But anyway, so I say all that because I have strategically used those two, like the birthday leave and the work anniversary leave. So I'm going to take the first week of May off of work and not actually use any real vacation time. Now I was thinking, oh well, this like Taiwan is just it's like a less than 2 hour flight from where we are. I could go there, hang out, see the sights, never been, and maybe catch some baseball. Taiwan loves some baseball. Uh, Soccer or football, not so much. But I just been informed that, well, my work visa renewal is now in the system, and I have to be physically present here when that comes through. Because obviously, if I'm not here and the visa I left on gets ruled invalid, getting back in is going to be an issue. So now they say the renewal could take 2 to 4 weeks, and maybe the the so the newly located immigration folks might come through, be real super duper efficient, and I get it in 2 weeks, and I could use that time. I'm not planning on that. I'm expecting it'll take the full 4, which will mean it'll bump up against my time off. So I was thinking I might try, that week, I might try some off-hour streams. Like I might try streaming on an Australia New Zealand friendly time, or friendlier, I suppose. Not not for folks like Bumblebee who are up at all hours. Just as an experiment. Because what am I gonna do? Leave my apartment? Enjoy myself? Interact with other people? Pfft, pfft, I say. But yeah, that was just a thought I had. Or all else fails, I can use that time to just maybe complete some games that I've been wanting to see all the way through, but haven't been able to do so. For various and sundry reasons. Because like there's fish bowls still sitting out there. We got the little Nemo. We could finish Azuma Escape. We got lots and lots. Like, there's always options. There will never not be games to play. Hey, Larone Games, welcome in. Hope the weekend's treating you well. We're just living in a mine. I have taken our brave survivor, Astrid here, and I have turned her into a dwarf, where she lives in a hole. Diggy diggy hole. Diggy diggy hole. And it seems to be going alright so far. Yeah, so we came in on day 682. We're currently on day 696. So we have about 10 more days to go. And then we should get the achievement for, what is it? Is it too deep, too greedily? Spend 25 consecutive days in LANGSTON mine? Unfortunately, we've had cabin fever on and off for several days now, so partially disassembling this moosehide cloak is how we're advancing time, so we don't have to suffer through real time waiting 25 days. Admittedly, this is, at least in part, a way to just accelerate the clock, both to get the achievement, but also so we can get to 1,000 days. A pursuit that is, well, it's one that is still so far off in the distance that I'm starting to run out of things to do to distract myself as we go for that. It's like that's what I was using all the other achievements as kind of like mid-range goals while we go for like the long survival one. But we're kind of out of those. I say kind of. Oh yeah, these are our various piles of crap, including our 100 plus birch bark teas, and our briar house pies. yeah. What do we have? Well, we have the mine. We have 4 left. We took a second swing through some of the a second swing through episode 5 of story mode to make sure we got all those achievements. Which it took a little bit because
I'm too tired to think straight.
officially there are no side quests, but there are other objectives. See, Cabin Fever suddenly came back. Why? But so once again we're down to 4. We're working on the mine one. Obviously, there's 1,000 days. There's the misery achievement, which obviously you have to have a misery save to do that. This is not. And then the only other one is survive 25 cougar attacks. And you better believe I'm not touching that thing until we've survived 1,000 days. Because screw that noise. Like I'll snipe kitty cats from afar, but we actually have to like you actually have to get in a fight with one. Meaning like you have to engage it like on level
The guy who
ground,
drank his own pee doesn't seem so crazy right now.
and either you do the thing where you get a clean hit and then it does the little side swipe as it goes past, or you don't hit and it mauls the ever-loving crap out of you. And I would not look forward to repeated instances of blood loss and infection risk, so we're just gonna wait. Although going back to Blackrock and then getting the vest would be, well, it would, I don't say it'd be a good way to use our time. It would be a way to use our time. Like, I don't know that I could ever call going to Blackrock a good use of time. Sorry, Sarah. And our friend Auntie Sarah is probably the biggest Blackrock booster out there. And and we love her for it, but it couldn't be me. As I believe the young people say. All right. I gotta be honest. I have lost all sense of time. Which again, we're standing still in the dark for weeks on end. That's gonna happen. Okay. I need to resist the urge to keep checking this. It's not gonna go any faster. Again, we're officially we're in the final 10 days. You know, we're 3/5 of the way there. We just need to focus in, cowboy up, and sally forth or something. Okay, our pemmican bars are officially ruined, but we have cooking 5, so we don't care. And cabin fever is
I
back.
would drink almost anything about now.
I didn't know it left. I'm so confused. It's okay. And I have almost certainly over-prepared for this. You know what? That's fine. It's totally fine. Because if we have to haul a bunch of stuff out of here and then back to Transfer Pass or Lower Great Bear, hey, that's more time off the clock. And I feel kind of bad that I'm talking about this game that that I enjoy so much that I have played for nigh 1,400 hours, and it just sounds like I'm talking like I'm marking time, just trying to get done with it as soon as possible. I'm really not. If I wasn't having fun, I wouldn't be doing this.
So tired I could lay down right here.
It's just 1,000 days is a long ass time, man. And I know me. I know my behavior, my thought patterns. I need, well, that's okay. I don't need. It is easier for me to stay on task if there are intermediate goals that I can put between where I am now and where I want to be. Like, you know, like when I was learning Japanese, like I had the JLPT, like the Japanese Language Proficiency Test. It's like a government sanctioned language test. It gives you gives you an idea how good you are at Japanese. Does it actually mean anything? Not really. You know, like if you want certain jobs, you need like at least was it N2, which is like business level Japanese. It's like 5 is basic, 4 is intermediate, 3 is conversational, 2 is business, and then 1 is fluency, like near native fluency. Like you gotta have a 2 if you want to get some jobs. If you want to attend a Japanese university, you need a 1. So I was using the JLPT as kind of like a not as the goal in itself, but like a mile marker, something to keep me motivated during the longer, more open-ended, less well-defined quest to get good with another language. And so that is also kind of how I look at this effort to live for 1,000 days. Why the... Why is the audio going all weird? I am concerned. Man, now I gotta hope we get cabin fever again so I can get a save. Yeah, I was so worried about...
Snow.
I was so worried about finding a place I could just intentionally get a sprain in case we needed to save. No, we just need to give ourselves a fresh case of cabin fever. It'll be fine. Weird. Anyway, so yeah, so once we do this, I might... There we go. There's our latest case of cabin fever. I might have to take a bit and then see if I can come up with like a new to-do list. Like, do we revisit some spots? do I, set maybe kill goals? There we go. There's our save. Whew. Like, they say, hey, I want to go hunt, this many deer, this many bears, etc. and so forth. That's the thing we could do. Now, the thing is, I would have to make several more bows if we stay with that, or alternatively, I can give our bows a rest and practice with the rifle.
Man,
Maybe that's
I
it.
am too tired to think straight.
Because I'm bad with the rifle. I don't use it. It's heavy, and I find like close up stuff. I'm better using the bow or the revolver, or if it's an absolute emergency, the flare gun. Like the the rifle doesn't really do anything I need. Any of the jobs I need to do, there's some tool that does it better. But maybe now is the time. We use, because we have all the rifle variants, and I know we have a decent amount of ammo. Maybe we just devote ourselves to the rifle life for a while. And maybe we focus on deer? Well, not focus on deer, because God, deer are a pain. But we hunt some deer, but also we can go after whatever big game we find. And that's not the worst idea. I mean, we do that anyway. And if we hit them with the rifle, we don't have to go chasing down uh, any broken arrows that they might, or broken arrows, or any arrows said big game might run off with. Okay, so we can get 4 partial harvests in before our hydration meter empties out. So it's not quite 8 hours, but it's close. Okay. We're at day 700, at least according to the journal. We got 1 more week to go. We are 4/5 of the way there. Right? Yeah, 20 out of 25. Wait, no, that can't be right. We came in at day 682. No, that is right. Yeah, we've been here 18 days. There we go. Yay, math. Okay. But we got to remember, we're not leaving until we get the whoop, and we get the achievement pop up, because I am not doing this again. Okay. Yay, cabin fever's back. Good. Yeah, early on, I was talking about it felt weird wanting to find a sprain indicator. because that was going to be how we were going to save. Now I'm saying, yay, cabin fever's back. That me saying that. But I am genuinely happy because it's giving us saves as we go along. Let's see, what else? I will say, yes, yeah, we got a week to go, and we're about 2.5 hours in. Honestly, I was prepared for another, like, 6 or 7 hour stream. I was convinced, like, because we went, like, more than 7 hours last night, finishing the House of Hikmah in one sitting.
I could eat anything right now.
Which I do not regret, by the way. Because that was a genuinely good time. And like if anyone here is like, if you're a fan of puzzle games, as a, House of Hikmah is definitely a good time.
I could eat a horse. Let's stand along, because I love horses.
Like the art is excellent. Like everything is voice acted, so you don't have to do any reading if you're a streamer and you really don't want to. Let's say I certainly appreciate that.
I would do anything for a drink right now.
Here, drink this pie. But yeah, it's like it's a cool world, a really heartfelt story. It's well made, and I had really good again. And I said the puzzles are challenging, but they were still possible for me to do with like 4 a.m. streamer brain, which I think that's a pretty solid endorsement right there.
I'm so tired, I could lay down right here.
And thankfully, as we found out near the end of the stream, once you play through the whole story, you do have a chance to go back through regions that you couldn't. You go back through region and find whatever collectibles you might have missed. Which I now there are no achievements as of right now. They might later, but so there's no backtracking for achievements. So I'd be doing it just for one to luxuriate in the world for a while longer, but also just for the sake of completion, being a completionist. Now, I am not a completionist about every single game. Certainly not. I think according to Steam, I guess my game completion rate, at least on Steam, is something like 45%, whatever that means. I guess that means like of all the games I've played, I guess I have an average. Yeah, it would have to be like an average achievement completion rate of 45%. Which, I mean, okay, but some of these games are absolutely ridiculous. I got like grand strategy games with like, more than 100 achievements, or like, was it Slay the Princess with 70 odd achievements? Like, I mean, I enjoy such games, but do I enjoy them to the point where I'm going to be chasing down every single achievement in those? No, almost certainly not. Like, once you get beyond about 50 achievements or so, that's when my completionist tendencies drop off sharply. Because like, I 100%ed Hades 1, and I feel like we can do Hades 2 without too much issue, and those are both 45 to 50-ish. But honestly, that is about the extent of my tolerance. Like, if I'm gonna keep chasing achievements after that, it better be a really special game. I think I have like 6 perfect games on Steam. 6? Yeah, 6. Hades 1, Ball X Pit, Subnautica, Scritchy Scratchy, Space Rock Breaker, and Little Problems. Yeah, sounds about right. And I have played. I have many more games than that, and I have played more. But some games I want to hang around in. Some games I get done. I say, yep, I sure am done.
I am too tired to think straight.
And honestly, that's most of them, which is fine. Like they every game doesn't have to be Stardew Valley or The Long Dark, and they become part of my identity for years on end. Sometimes you just want a nice 8 to 10 hour experience, and then you move on to something else. And that for me, that one of those is the House of Hikmah. Now, all right, I say that if they do end up adding achievements to that one, am I gonna double back? Probably, yeah. Because I'm shameless. I'm pathetic. I know. I just, I see shiny. I must have shiny. Hey, Cabin Fever's back. Yay! Man, all this time, I haven't even touched any of these coffees. Good grief. But hey, there's there's no such thing as too much overkill. And as I say, if we got to haul a bunch of stuff out, then that's more stuff we have for later. Or hell, all those maybe we actually do just hang out in the Zoc for a while.
I just need to close my eyes.
Maybe that's one of the things we do to keep matriculating the calendar down the field, and we make a commitment to. Well, actually, how much time do we have in each of these zones? Yeah, the Zoc is about to overtake the airfield. Transfer pass, Sundered pass. Yeah, we could do that. Now, for Sundered pass, I'd only be spending time in like half the zone. The part with trees and wildlife that is not timber wolves. That's a thing we could do. Say, well, we get to 30 days in Sundered Pass, and well, yeah, 30 days in Transfer Pass would be kind of pointless because why? There's just, I mean, there's more to it than we thought. There's not that much. Okay, 702. We're getting there. We're getting there, friends.
I'm gonna need to eat soon.
Ever so slowly, we're gonna get there, and then we're gonna leave, and then we might. I don't know, depending on how all these cabin fever calculations work out, we might not need to spend a whole day outside. We might be able to like walk the heck out. Well, no, we won't be able to do that necessarily because we're gonna have too much. I have 5 kilograms just of pemmican bars. Oh, fuck. Oh, I almost screwed that up. I almost lost focus. I'm not even gonna go back and think about what almost happened. For a brief, terrifying moment there, I thought this is one of those dials we actually did want to finish. No, it is not. Not even remotely. Okay, well after that brief adrenaline spike, as well for me anyway, you all probably you were just staring at the screen going, what is he doing? Is he not paying attention? And the answer is no. No, he was not.
I need to find a place to rest.
All right, welcome back, Cabin Fever. I would say good to see you, but that would be a lie as ever.
So
I know, my dear, I know, but we're almost at the finish line. By almost, I mean probably another 5 days, let's say. I mean, you've been in here for almost 3 weeks now. Would you really be able to tell the difference? I dare say no. That's a nice cloak. Yeah, I mean, it is. I mean, I don't. We've partially disassembled it. I don't know how many times. Dozens, maybe close to hundreds. Yeah, honestly, well, it's actually getting some use, I will say, because this thing was just sitting in the Quonset for months and months and months, doing nothing but gathering dust. Now it is hard carrying us to as like a 0.01 or 0.1 or 0.2% achievement.
Man, I am too tired to think straight.
And in fact, assuming I don't screw this up, it's going to go back on the shelf until we try to do the survive the cougar attack achievement. In which case, we're gonna wear the heck out of this thing. And look at that. It's got 20% protection. That is absurd. And if we're gonna go dancing with kitty cats, we're gonna need it. Okay, man, I was gonna say we brought down 50 liters of water, and it's actually getting comparatively low. I have not touched a single coffee. You know what? I should stop complaining. No. If we can get away with this without touching coffee, let's do it. We'll save the coffee for later. We'll just start chugging birch bark teas. I mean, we might as well. Hydration is hydration. But yeah, if we're gonna do the cougar thing, what do we need? So we want the moose hide cloak. We're gonna want like combat pants. We're gonna want the vest. Probably the combat boots. If we can find a pair, I'm pretty sure we can. Yeah, anything that cranks up our protection. What? Oh no, we do have food in our pack. It's just well, not edible according to the game. But that's fine. But yeah, okay, how? Okay, like the way I read that achievement is like, so it says it specifically says cougar attack, which I take to mean like you can't cheese. It's not cougar kills, it's cougar attacks. It's like you can't do the thing where like the new cheese is to stand on top of a snow shelter. Like you actually do need to hit and be hit. Again, as I understand it. But that, oh yeah, if we're gonna do that, we might also want to, well, either order more antiseptic from the trader, or actually start harvesting some of the old man's beard we've left out in the world. Because if we miss, which is entirely possible, that's going to be a whole lot of trouble for us. And we don't want to go looking for old man's beard after we start needing it, because if you saw Dunn's stream when he finally hit 500 days on Loper, and he chose that time to tangle with his first cougar. Things can get out of hand real quick, like.
I could eat anything.
Yeah, he ended up getting cougar attacked and had like multiple infection risks and no antiseptic and no OMB. Things were dicey, but he got away with it, and that run is still live. And yeah, with the right planning, we could
So tired, I could lay down right here.
we could kind of not cheese, but like we could armor up enough to where like the glancing blows from the cougar barely do anything. And if perchance we do get attacked, it'll do a number on our clothing, but the health effects won't be so severe. But given everything we've put in, again, I started the save in December 2022. After the Great Forgetting. So I'm not eager to put Achievement Astrid in harm's way. Any more than I already do, I should say. Hey, cabin fever's back. Okay, it's got the only way I can figure. Yeah, like the Briar House pie has to give us it has to shave down cabin fever over time. That's the only way that works. Right? Oh, here, let's have the last 16 calories of that pie. Good grief. Astrid in her dainty, dainty stomach. Anyway. All right, yeah, lots to look forward to. Because I'll say my fear doing this was we were going to come stumbling, assuming we even got the job done, we'd come stumbling out of the mine, you know, cabin fever out, out of our head with cabin fever,
So
condition wrecked. When we go, stumbling right into one of the many wolves that have respawned in the time we're in the mine. But now that we're apparently like 2 to 3 days away from finishing this thing, admittedly, my concern levels are not as high as they were previously. But as I said right at the start of the stream, that's the way my anxious brain works. If a thing is important, the first place my brain goes is looking at all the ways things could go horribly wrong. And if there are ways that I cannot do anything about, then hey, so much the better. That just increases the terror all the more. Okay, so let's stop and think for just a second. All right, I think it's a reasonable assumption. Whenever we walk out of here, we will have some form of cabin fever. So, excuse me. The simplest thing to do be just go back to where the fire barrel is by the train cars. Start a nice long fire there and just hang out. Maybe have another Briar House pie or two. just really kill that cabin fever dead. Then we can start the slow, deliberate process of getting all of our stuff out the mine. Because again, one thing we're definitely not is in a hurry.
I am too tired to think straight.
You've been tired for like 3 weeks, girl. You gotta raise your bar. See, we're out here getting new bespoke cases of cabin fever. Again, and I went to all the trouble getting caffeine pills. Like I was pleading with Sutherland, please, caffeine pills for the love of God. And now we're almost done. I haven't even touched the damn things. Just wacky. There we go. And yeah, rip the yeah, and to think we started this thinking that starvation was going to be part of our approach. Again, which absolutely stupid. We have like 4 pemmican pies per day, to say nothing of the peach pies and the briar house pies. I made the poor girl starve when there was absolutely no reason I had to do that, because I am a terrible person. Ah, well.
Don't rest soon, I'm gonna faint.
I have terrible news, Astrid. You're not going to rest soon. Unless soon, by soon you mean sometime in the next week. In which case, maybe we can pencil you in. No, quite the opposite. I need you to keep your eyes open. Because apparently I cannot trust myself to keep my eyes open and paying attention to this important disassembling. Okay, so we'll at least go through the peach pies while we're here. We're not getting through all the pemmican, and we're almost certainly not. Yeah, we're not getting through the briar house pies. So just that much more stuff we gotta haul. But again, it's what we signed up for. You just said you were exhausted. Now you're getting tired? Astrid, you're giving me such mixed messages. I don't know what I'm gonna do with you, girl.
I'm so tired I could lay down right here.
Okay. So we have officially, according to according to the log, we've reached day 707. Now, by my mathing, this is the day when the achievement should pop at some point. But I'm not leaving until I hear the bloop. Of course, we're still day 706. Excuse me. But blessed be, we're almost there. Oh, God, speaking of, as I had to do one more harvest, and boom, too deep, too greedily. Spent 25 consecutive days in LANGSTON Mine. There we go, friends. And we need to spend 1 hour outdoors. Now, we're not going to actually do that. Like, we're not going to get out of here in time. But we might as well start grabbing our stuff, because there is no reason to hang about. Just Astrid, grab the thing. Thank you.
This pack is getting kind of heavy.
Oh, look, coal respawned in the middle of all this. Okay. No. Yes. Yes. Go. Yeah, it looks like most everything kind of. Let's see. So those socks are 93. So okay. So let's see, underwear 89, 93. Yeah, I think there was less decay for the stuff sitting on the ground versus on Astrid's person. Huh. Okay, and now we're also exhausted, so that'll have something to do with it as well. And Cabin Fever's back. Of course it is. Real quick, let me just put these in there. We'll drop the regular baklava. And we left our deerskin boots back at the idle camp because no sense running around in toxic waste with those on. I'll grab that. God, just actually, you know what? This might be the time to see what those caffeine pills can do. Oh yeah, well we're still not going to be able to sprint. Yeah, you know what? To heck with it. Wait, that's it? That's like a third of the bar at best. Good grief. I got all worked up over that? Well, more fool me, I suppose. Okay, we can sprint. Barely. Take a bunch? Well, oh, okay, yeah, the loot goblin instincts kick in. But what if I need them later? Nah, we'll be all right. What we'll do is we'll get out of here. We'll find a safe place to rest, and we'll just I'll dump some stuff off so we can be. And yeah, we'll take a quick nap before we head out. That way we can come back in and grab the well we got those teas and the coffees, the pies. I really don't need this. But yeah, we'll get out, we'll reset, we'll give Astrid a nice nap, and then we'll start the unpacking process. But yeah, I was well, I don't want to say I was misled. Because it's on me. Again, well, you know, when I was talking to Bastrop about that, and he made it sound like the caffeine pills would be like a difference maker in attempting this little shenanigan of ours. But I mean, like, I suppose yeah, it would have helped had we not gone to the lengths we did. But yeah, because all of our food gave us energy back. I don't want to say it. It didn't make the it didn't make the caffeine pills redundant. It just it did what they would do plus other buffs.
I'm not sure I can carry much more.